Hi and welcome to this CrossYoga video. My name is Ria. I'm gonna guide you through 30 minutes of introduction to CrossYoga, to yoga at all. So it's gonna be an easy flow. We're gonna introduce you to some of the common postures that we use in CrossYoga and in yoga as well. So please take a seat on your mat if you have one. That's always nice to be able to stay on your mat. If you prefer to sit on a chair, that's an option as well. So as long as your spine is straight, that's awesome. You can sit, if you sit on the floor, with your hands on your knees, relaxing your shoulders, and then close your eyes just for a moment and listen in. So Cross Yoga is Christ-centered yoga. Through our breath, movement, and meditation, we seek God and all that He has for us. Sometimes we learn about God by looking inwards and getting to know ourselves. But often we look out, read the Bible, look at the nature just to get a glimpse of who God is. Just sit here with your eyes closed. Feel how your breathing is affecting your shoulders. Maybe you feel how your belly expands as you inhale, and how it all kind of fall back together as you exhale. We often start with an opening prayer. I'm gonna pray one as well. If you're not sure about who God is and if it's a person or if it's more like spiritual being out there, just go along with whatever you picture or whoever you picture God is. So God, we open our hearts to you. Come and dwell in our whole being, in our breathing, in our movements, in our thinking. May you expand our comprehension of who you are and what you can do in our lives. Help us surrender everything that's full of pride and selfish. Anything that's hindering us from connecting with you. And may we receive your grace and your forgiveness through Jesus Christ. Still seated on your mat or chair, let your arms or your hands get out to each side of the mat. So right hand on the right side, left arm on left side. And as you inhale, lift up your arms, palms facing whatever way feels natural. And when you have your hands towards the sky, your palms connect with each other. And you'll pull your hands down in front of your face, jaw, and down by your chest in prayer posture. Now you can do this movement as you inhale, lifting out the arms to the side. And as you exhale, palms meet each other and you lower them down in front of your chest. And do this in your own rhythm, as fast or as slow as the pace of your breath. Is there anything specific that you long for God to do in your life? Maybe this will be a posture of prayer so that you inhale, pray your need out, and with your hands down by your chest, like pulling this wish or this prayer into your heart. Next time your hands are in prayer posture in the front of your chest, you just keep them there. No rush. Slowly opening up your eyes. Coming onto all fours. If you have any issues with your knees, you might want to tuck your mat, double mat, so you won't have trouble with your knees. Try to let your palms be underneath your shoulders, and you can tuck your toes under like this or have your toenails in the mat, whatever feels comfortable. And use your inhale and exhale as you move here. So it's called cat-cow. So you exhale as you pull up your spine, and as you release, you exhale. If you want to reverse that rhythm, you're more than welcome. And you're also welcome to play around with this movement, this slow flow, so that you may take some side stretch. You can bend your elbows, be all creative. Now some might feel that yoga is about being a bit stiff, or actually not being stiff, but it's just stand in the postures. There's a lot of alignment and lines and stuff like that. But what I prefer is more movement, more softness in every movement. It just fits well with being in the soft presence of God. Now getting up to standing posture. And as we stand here, we have hip width apart with our feet. So hip width is like 2 fists distance, often. And lower your head down, take a hold of your elbows, let your head go, let your neck go, and then just sway slowly. I see a lot of people move very fast here, so try to be slow in your movements. Maybe you want to bend your knee, maybe you want to bend one knee and move around.
Release your elbows and vertebrae by vertebrae. Move up to standing posture. Let your palms face out. It's called mountain pose. Tall spine, keeping your shoulder blades back. And just close your eyes. I'm just going to read a small passage from the Bible. It's about the resurrection of Christ. So Mary and Mary come to the tomb, and they meet an angel that spoke to them. I know you're looking for Jesus, the one they nailed to the cross. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Come and look at the place where he was placed. Now get on your way quickly and tell the disciple he is risen from the dead. Standing in mountain pose. Say to yourself, he is risen. Christ is risen. This will be our theme during our intro practice today, that Christ is risen. I'm going to ask some questions to make you reflect a bit, and then we're just going to move. And remember, as we move, lift your hands towards the sky. Don't try to pray or be all spiritual. Just try to move. Let your body be like an instrument playing to God. Take a hold of your right wrist and pull a little bit on your right wrist to your left side. Maybe you want to squeeze your navel in a tiny bit so you don't go back or lean forward. Come to the back, and of course do the opposite side. Take a hold of your arm. Make sure your arm don't fall down on your face, so you do like this. Keep it up in line with your ear. And you don't have to go all the way out. Beginning yoga is soft, so you have to be mindful of yourself. Making a slow flow here. Right arm, move to your left side. Try to exhale as you come down to this side. Inhale, come up. Moving to your right side with your left arm up. Exhale. Inhale. And slowly exhale. Like waving from side to side. Now I'm moving very purposely with slow pace. So trying to be slow, trying to settle. Slow movements, slow thoughts, so to say. Coming to the side, putting your hands on your lower back, looking up. You can let your neck go or you can hold your neck. The thing is that you were back bending, so you feel it in your lower back probably. Maybe a small bend in your knee. Use your abs to pull your back. And move forward, slowly bending your knees. Now if your hands can't reach to the mat or the floor, you might want to bend your knees, or you can just take a hold of your legs. Bending your knees, taking a hold of the floor, however low you want to go on your knees. And then we're going to lift right leg and move it all the way back to the back end of your mat. The easier you want to do this one, the smaller the distance between the feet will be. So I'm going to move my feet down here. Going to bend down my front knee here to have knee and ankle aligned. Hands
like this, and lower your hips down. You'll feel stretch in your hamstrings, on your hip flexors. You'll use some energy on your thigh here, so you might feel that, but that's normal. And then before we move up to lunge, high lunge, have a look at your feet. Are they hip width apart? You don't want to stand on a small line, so hip width apart with your feet. Gaze looking forward, lifting your arms up whenever you're ready. Now the left leg here, try to straighten that out as much as possible. If that hurts on your hip flexors, you might want to bend your knees a tiny bit, but go as straight as possible. Now standing here might look easy, but it's harder than you would think. Now hands go down on your mat again. Lifting up your right leg, finding some sort of balance in a moment. Now you might want to bend your knees and stand like this. Try not to fall forward. Your spine is aligned with your heel. That's where we want to go, but you can bend if you like. Now you can stand here, or if you want to go with your arms out like an airplane, try to see if that works for you. It's not about looking good, it's just about breathing, staying here, practicing your balance. And then slowly come up to standing posture to the front of your mat again. May you sound it out, close your eyes. How did that feel in your body? Moving to the other side, lifting up your arms, gazing towards the heavens. Maybe there's something you are longing for, you're reaching out. And then forward folds, ever so slowly. Left leg moves back slowly. And remember again, do it shorter version of this if you like. Lowering down, trying not to pull your cheek towards your chest, so have a long spine. You can't reach the floor here. You might use some books or bottles of yoga blocks, of course you have that. Ready to rise up. Arms move up to the sky. Now your hands can also have their own prayer. So you might want to do like this if there's anything you feel like, God, why? Or you might want to praise Him, or you might want to say, oh God, I just need you. So maybe your hands will speak their own language right now, whatever you want to express to God. And then slowly moving them down to the framing your foot, but in front of your foot. Ready to lift the back leg as much as you like. Straighten out this leg without hyperextending it. And if you want to release your hands from the floor, just one hand, that's an option. Go and fly. And see if you can keep your balance coming up to standing posture. Again, release. Closing your eyes, having your hands in prayer posture in front of your mat. Face is soft, shoulders soft and down. He is risen. What does this mean for you? Christ is risen.
And please be honest. Maybe you feel like, well, it doesn't really matter. Don't really think about it too much. It's fine. But maybe it will also be a prayer that God, help me to see why the fact that you rose from the dead is so important. Opening up your eyes again. Take an inhale, sway your arms out to the side, and as you exhale, forward fold. Few more standing postures before we get into the seated stretching. Right leg moves back. I call this warrior 2 or K2 if you like. Now the back foot, you'll move out to the side so the back end of your foot here is aligned with the back end of your mat. Now the front end of your toes pointing forward as well as your kneecap. And again, alignment with these two things. Your heels might also be aligned here. That will be some of the basic foundation cues here. Standing up, arms out to the side, and looking towards the front hand. Again, if you want to take it easier version, just don't go as low. Let's just stand here, breathe. Again, expand your belly. Inhale as you exhale. It all sinks back. Straighten out your front knee going into triangle. So make sure your hips are not moving back or to the front, but more moving toward the back heel. As you lean forward, letting your hands walk down your leg, how far you want to go. Some people might feel it here, but it actually is supposed to be a stretch for your side here. So you try to see if you can find that spot. Slowly moving up again, finding your foot here, framing your foot, lifting your heel, stepping again to the front of your mat. Gonna take the other side before we get into mountain pose as well. So left leg goes back, opening up your hip, back foot. You might want to go back and have a check if it's in aligned. And when you're ready, rise up. Warrior 2. If you've had a few days where you've been very, very busy and stressful, you might feel you want to lift your shoulders all the way through this video. I'll make sure they go back and down. And take some deep breaths. He is risen. Straighten out the front leg. Excellent. Hip moves back, leaning forward. Now you can either look up or look down. Looking down is way easier for your balance. And remember, don't feel uncomfortable if you can't go all the way down. Don't feel uncomfortable if there is something here getting in the way of all the different postures. We all have different shapes. God is amazingly creative. So make sure that you don't feel like you're doing it wrong because you feel something that maybe I'm not speaking about or
talking into. Finding child's pose, having more than hip width apart with your heels or not your heels but your knees. Moving your sitting bones back towards your heels, and then arms either here in front of your mat or down by the side if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. Let your forehead rest on the mat, so relax your neck. You can even give yourself a massage. Now this is supposed to be a relaxing posture, so try to get rid of all tension if you have any in your muscles somewhere. And from here coming up to a seated posture. Now you can just face the camera, or the screen, but I'm gonna move on my mat so I'll be able to look you in the face. So right leg coming down, left leg all the way out here, if you can. You might want to straighten this leg out. That's an option if you have bad knees. Your sitting bones want to go as far towards the mat as possible. We're going to have a sitting twist, so make sure you don't arch your back, but sit up tall. And now your right arm, either take a hold of your knee or let your elbow go outside of your knee. This is the Diba Stretch. And then twisting your shoulder blades back, not leaning back, but twisting around. With the back hand here, you lift up your shoulders, not to the ears, but making sure you don't lean back. Breathe. And coming back to center. Straighten out your legs. You can again release whatever you feel like you need to release. Left leg goes down, right leg up. Taking your time to get into this posture. Now you want to lift your kneecap towards the sky as much as you can. Lift arm, holding your knee, or let your elbow take out of position of your knee. Again, lifting up so your belly moves towards your thigh. And ever so gently coming back. Gonna lay down on our mats now. With your knees bending, coming down on the floor. Have a look at your knees, your feet hip width apart, and then draw your ankles as close to your sitting bones as you feel is comfortable. Engage your root lock. And from there, lifting up your hip area, using your heels, squeezing your glutes together, and lifting up. Now, if you're as high as you can, make sure your knees don't fall out to the side. And then there's just a little bit more if you prefer this. I'm calling it walking your shoulder blades a bit together so you'll be on the outer edge of your shoulder. Now maybe you just want to hold your mat. If possible, you can grasp your hand, fold your hands and lift higher even. Go with that. Releasing your hands, shoulder blades walk out. And again, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower down.
And then hug your knees. Now, not lifting up your hip area, just hugging your knees. You can close your eyes. God, Jesus rose from the dead. For me, that means that nothing is impossible for Christ. No sickness, depression, stress, or disease, even death, is stronger than the power God has. Nothing in this world is stronger than the power of Jesus Christ. Letting go of your legs. Stretching your lower back and your glutes. So right leg comes up. The wrist goes on the left knee area, and take a hold of your left leg. Now you want to pull out your right knee. Maybe you don't want to do it with your hand, but if you can't make it work, you might use your elbow to pull this knee out. So the more you pull your left leg in and your right knee out, the more you'll feel stretch here that's connected with your lower back. So it's quite a useful, helpful stretch for those of us who have back issues once in a while. You can close your eyes. And as we stretch, try to relax your shoulders. Relax your muscles, especially around the hip area. And again, release. The same stretch on the other side. So left leg goes up, out to the side with your knee. Take a hold of your hamstrings on your right leg, pulling the right leg in, pulling left kneecap out. And breathe. Now, is there any specific area in your life that you might feel like you've been defeated in? You might have experienced a lot of disappointment. You might have prayed and prayed and God didn't answer, or you felt like God didn't answer. And try to speak into that God is risen, Jesus is risen from the dead. The victory is already there. And with this mindset, called this butterfly, one of the last stretches, so your palms of your feet goes together, down on the mat. You might have your legs way down here. You want to relax your inner thighs. If it feels good, you can put your hands on the inner thigh just to extend the stretch of your inner thighs. Close your eyes. And as we open up our hips in this kind of vulnerable position, we want to pray, God, please be risen in those areas of my life that I feel defeated in. Reminding yourself that exactly the reason why Jesus died on the cross and the reason he rose again is that it's not our achievement, it's not our doing, that makes the difference. It's all God. Moving into resting pose and a small meditation. Gathering your knees again. Maybe want to use the windshield a bit before getting all comfortable. Stretching out your legs, letting your feet fall out to each side, so like your pinky toe is a bit more heavier than the rest of the feet, of the toes. Arms down, palms facing upwards. Make sure your shoulders are in the right position. You're not looking up or taking your chin towards your chest. You're just resting really nicely here. Eyes closed. And try to make your face relax. Maybe you feel like your jaw opens up a little bit. As you relax your body, I just want to speak to you again about Christ is risen. I have no idea what's going on in your life. And I don't know if the victory that Christ won for you will be one that you ultimately will receive in heaven. I know it will be ultimately, but still, like, things that you feel defeated, and I don't know what God will do with that. But I just know that He is risen already. And I know that He's near your heart, in whatever circumstance you might be in. And laying here down in your mat, you might picture in front of you the tomb where Jesus was buried. You might picture how this stone that was in front of the tomb is rolled and moved away. And you might picture some angels walking to you, whatever they look like. Peaceful, strong, powerful. Delivering the message directly to your heart, looking you into your eyes, saying, He is not here. He is risen. And please stay down on this mat in this comfortable pose. Maybe on your inhale inside yourself saying He is. And your exhale, risen. So this be a mantra, a prayer that will follow you through the day or the week, in whatever circumstance you're in, that He is risen. I will finish this video now, but please just turn off the sound or press pause and then go down on your mat again and stay here for as long as you feel like it. God is here no matter your emotions or your feelings, and He is risen no matter what. God blessings to you.